Welcome friends, this is Agonea, and we're continuing our playthrough of Lemuria as we are testing and moving forward with our war against Utgard. It is turn 18, and let's jump in to see how it's going. So we moved our pretender out last turn, and to start site searching, nothing comes of it, but we have some more additional battles with Utgard. So let's go ahead and start. So as a reminder from the last episode, one thing we were showing last episode was where we'd use this one PD with the fear, and then once they get blessed with that awe to see how it helps. Utgard has pretty good morale. So far we are 1 for 1. So let's see how it plays out in this fight. And unfortunately, we are now 2 to 1, or 1 to 2 technically. No surprise, just a big hit in and just killed. So if they get in, it's usually death for the acolyte. But so here we have lost the territory. Not many troops they brought in, so we should have in. But one worry we had was they hit Sadaka. I'm gonna mispronounce, I'm sure. We've been holding on to this territory to give a lot of income, especially since we had an event here that I cannot show where we had a prophet preaching. So it hasn't been able to take in our domain, but we lost there. So let's move over to the main troop line, and this was our main force going out and trying to clean up their Utgard. But as we see, they moved their units away. So here we were thinking that we were going to have a good showdown, but unfortunately did not. I'm not going to really focus a lot on this. We have a lot of ghosts coming in with our prophet being able to power up these shades, so it's going to be a very quick and easy push through as they slurped them down. So yeah, not many ghosts left, but they didn't have much of force. Good PD, but with the prophet they were able to push through. Here we were attacking we were pinging the throne. So we've pinged 2 thrones. This is a 3rd throne. Wanted to see what they had. Let's just do a quick check. So we have some blood slaves. There's their mage. So just death gem, more blood slaves, no gems, 2 deaths. So and lastly 1 death. So doesn't look too bad. I don't see any priests, so we just have to worry about those death gems, death priests. However, what did we miss script? I want to go back and check, but we lost a scout, and I bet that's what happened. So let this be a lesson from this newbie to you. Make sure that if you're pinging, to put your scouts on retreat. So that is 2 scouts that we've lost from just haste. So, and that's nothing that is just a mistake that we can correct in the future, though. That's how we get better. Next, we have another attack from Utgard attacking here. So imagine, 1 PD. Let's see who they brought, though. Brought a priest and some jaguar tribes that I'm assuming they picked up. Doesn't look bad. So let's see if we are going to be 2 for 2 or not. One thing I did not is we did get enchant 1, so now we're casting the skeleton body on ourselves as well. Starting to frighten. They come in and smack again. So no surprise. Look at that hit though. 35 damage. So we've repelled 1, we've lost 3. So hoping to see that turn back in our favor, but we'll just keep going. And then the last 2 battles we had, this is where we're attacking the province to try to clean up. They left nothing. So I'm just going to not even worry about it. Yep, didn't even lose anything, just cleaned up their PD they had there. And lastly, another province that we were bringing in with a consul. And this is a good stationary fight. So they have 1 priest, 2, 3 priests. Yeah, and making sure we have no change with their bless from what we've seen last time. So again, having archery. We're unfortunately right at their banish line. So we should have scripted that better a little bit further back. There shouldn't be, well, we'll see. And they're starting apostasy instead. uh, on that. I don't think we have gotten anyone. Oh, yep. And here we have was able to break through with apostasy. It's a low chance, but we were able to get a priest out of it and stop them. So we end up with a priest on our side. So some heavy losses though. This should have been a lot better. We really did a poor job with positioning here, and just to showcase this again, I really wish we had pulled back slightly or be in a hold. That probably should have been it, but as you see, no banishment yet, and he starts to cast Pull from the Grave. So right here is our line. This could have easily been like 10 back, and we would have been positioned quite well. But we lost a lot more than we needed to with that miscalculation. But overall, battles were going well in our favor. We lost the province we were worried about that was bringing us 1/10 of our income. So let's see what comes up next. So we have a few events. Dominion change. So here's another false prophet. So there's now unfortunately with this one, unlike this province, this one doesn't have that much gold, and so we'll probably root it out because eventually we would like to get a palisade here. Again, we have a nap with Atlantis. Haven't triggered anything with Abyssia yet, but it's good just to see that for now we can get some gold, but we're going to get rid of them. More gems, never a bad sign. And then a magic site was found in Griffin Spire, so silver. So 40 gold per turn. Most nations, it's nice to see. With Lemuria, I am very happy to see it because it will not be able to be lost with pop down. So what are we doing this turn? As always, we'll start with our west side and we'll move to the east because the east is more exciting. So we have a Centurion. I think we're taking some Ghost here, yes, and moving up, looking to move more into water since we have this alliance, or this nap, if you will, wanting to clear out the rest of this water, especially since we're not going to look like we're being too aggressive, and clear the rest of these water provinces out. And we're taking, I'm not sure, these probably shouldn't have been on guard because they're not going to be doing a lot to protect, but we're also recruiting some crossbowmen. So we're trying to get some crossbows out here. One thing we have not found outside of one random nature, we have not found any other mages or interesting units to recruit. So our diversity is not really expanded from what we already have. And so still calling shadows. Here I think we're pulling in troops. No, we're not. We're just moving probably to make a temple. So yeah, 2 months remaining, so we want to temple this up right when the palisade goes up, especially with them with Utgard here. We're mage searching this. Are we pulling in people here? Yes, we are. Okay, I was about to say this is worrying with that 1 PD, but here we're bringing in the amazing Wraith Lord that we talked last time in with troops to be ready in case Utgard goes north and protect that. We started another palisade, or we started palisade here last time, so we're down to 3 months, and then we're continuing chasing Utgard over. Now, Gath has brought in more troops. It's starting to worry me more. But we'll see if they turn on us. Now here's the preset we got. We're moving over. He can build a temple as well for us. One thing that I learned with Lemuria much later is when none of your priests can actually, what's the move called? Preach. It was interesting to me as I was starting to look at all the priests that you get. All the sacred is just call spirits. They cannot preach. None of your lemurs can. None. It's just bizarre to me. It's something I didn't think about. But people that you pull over with apostasy can. It will not come up for a long period of time, but one thing I started trying to do is preach dominion on the borders, and I realized I couldn't unless I had units pulled over with apostasy and control. So just a interesting learning that I had. But we're moving over. I imagine it is to pick up crossbows. Yeah, we're recruiting more crossbows here, trying to get over. And I realized his leadership is great without being undead, of course. So we're going to use him to move crossbow troops around for the short time and build temples. Here we're just calling shadows, sneaking over, keep trying to build up, and it looks like we're positioning most of our armies. So we're bringing over a console to the side, moving all these, it looks like moving 2 of these troops down, reinforcement in here, and attacking here. So trying to hit all 3 flanks. And you really want to get rid of this palisade as well and make sure they don't fort up further. But they have plenty of troops in Utgard, not ready to even begin that, but I'm wanting to take up their border and keep them pushed in. So that means we're also calling and getting troops over here. So we site search, we're going to keep site searching with our pretender, still calling, and then like I said, reinforcement. So from our scouts to the side, we're wanting to keep visuals, so moving them down, keeping to see if there's any other provinces we're aware of as well. But that will be it for turn 18. Let's jump to turn 19. So 19, I did not save at the end, so let's go ahead and look at least events, and then we'll jump to 20 as well. So one thing I did not mention is we made another Grand Lemur. So we have 2 now to be pushing in. Search for magic sites, didn't find any. Which was this? So, oh, this was that South Province. Just trying to take heavy cow. I'm not gonna. Well, actually, let's see what happens, because this is quite a bit of heavy cow with a priest and banishing. But with 2 consoles, it should not be a problem. We'll just play it since we're here. Yep, they're running. We did lose a few goes, maybe 4. Oh wow! And so we routed right here at the end, so we may have lost more. Let's go ahead and check that. No, we lost, yeah, 8. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they got off the field in time. We're fighting more of what we put in the ocean. Again, it was one thing, I don't know if I've called this out. Your ghosts are not poor amphibians, so they keep their stats. There's no issues with going into water, which is great. So even though you don't really have to worry about trying to get around you, because console's up in the thick of things up here, yeah, and they routed. And the Triton should be off the field before we get off. Yep, and so we didn't retreat. But lost a lot of ghosts here. This is, going back to early videos, this is why I really like 2 Centurions. Even 1 at the front, you can take a lot of attrition, and with 2, I really feel like this number would have been cut in half as well. Well, let's get into the fun ones with actual Utgard. So our first battle is on the neighboring kingdom. I think is this our prophet? No, this is just 2 consoles bringing an army, and then nothing. So we lost some ghosts, but they had no force. They've moved them around. Next battle. I don't even recall in getting this priest from last turn. So they're pulling jaguars. It might have been a merc. And just cannot get to this priest. We really should have been attacked rear. And that priest, these priests ripped into it. Oh wow! And we have Lemuria has routed at the very end. MVP this goad. So that was harsh to see. So 6 and 5 kills. It was just PD. So this was a really bad loss here. Thankfully, Centurion retreated successfully, and so did the person that we apostatesied. So, and then Utgard attacked us. So they brought a very large force, probably from Utgard itself, in and to our 1 PD. So we're 3 and 1. It's not looking good. Yeah, 32. Look, they just hit so hard. So they definitely came out from their capital swinging, and we were not there. So more unrest, less gold. We did get a lab in the water and a burning pearl, and then not much money either. So, however, since we don't have scripts, we'll just talk about game plan here. So we have finally got rid of Utgard, trying to cut off, making sure we've completed them. We have palisades and temples going. We'll probably be building a temple. I forgot that we don't have turns in, even though I just said it. And I believe the game plan here, since we have these mages, is pushing research, continue to site search, and pushing in armies. So we've already knocked this fort down with all the troops that we brought in. We're probably going to be going in and sieging it. And with this group, I believe that when we have a nap with Atlantis, we don't want to push against that, but we'll probably be pulling these troops back. I think that we pull them back to try to connect here. So I think these two will come here and probably not mess with the lines. We are now seeing in Agartha, I keep mispronouncing that, Agartha, excuse me, and we kind of knew where their cap was from because we're in the future right now, and spoiled it earlier, but we know this war is still going on. And we can see them actually sieging Marignan right now as well. And so they have, it seems like, a pretty good chunk of territory. I wish we had a spy or a scout here. I think we're going to be moving over to see who is winning. We could honestly wonder if we can, once our own war is done, if we are successful, and I want to plan that we are, we can see who is winning and maybe clean up. But we see Atlantis still sieging on Yellow Mountains down here, which is close-ish to their cap. We got 3 provinces away, but it's 3 as well to Agartha. So, but very curious to see more how this war is going on. But we see Marignan looking to siege already their cap. So they, in my mind, are more the problem, especially since we have a nap with Atlantis. So if we can hurry with this, we maybe try to start pushing on them. We could also push up here. Definitely don't want to right now because it seems like Atlantis is pushing down. And I'll stay in my water and keep getting income. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of the actual map order, so I'm going to jump now to turn 20. So, let's see what happened. Actually, let's go through messages. So we made another lemur. Not a grand lemur, well, I think. We just made a thaumaturge to help out. And our pretender did not find any sites, so let's see what these battles were. So I think this was just a neutral. Yep. Let's just look at the battle report. They're not going to be super exciting from what things we have seen. And same with Hungry Sea. We're just going to skip these. The Centurion, again, heavy glosses. Wish we had a second one there. But let's focus on the Utgard battles. Wait, this is just what we saw. Oh, this is probably just with the map orders now. I see. So turn 20 in here. So what we talked about last, apologies. We pulled these troops in, like kind of what we were guessing, pulling these troops over, and then attacking into the water to clean that up, and looking to start building palisades, temples here, and keep our border fresh. So I will jump into, I must skip 19, and this was turn 20. So let's jump to turn 21. Alright, so made a Centurion, magic sites, nothing, and we had some battles. So let's see how this one went and see if there was an, oh wow, look at all these giants. And giant long dead. They brought a force, and I'm curious, I don't think they have their prophet or pretender yet, so we'll see how this goes out. So this there's so many giants comparatively. And this was also a mistake. It looked like we had some units not scripted to hold while buffing on. So right here at the banishment line as well. If I was a betting person, I would not be betting on Lemuria on this fight. So both flanks have already been demolished by giants. They're coming in. And again, you have two that are using apostasy. If I could change this from what I've seen now, I would probably not be spamming this. I would be having them more in the front to be helping out. Again, with that fear and awe aura, they really could be helping out against even Sinister. But the ghosts are just getting... No matter if you're ethereal, you're going to get hit. And now all these giants are going to be on the back consoles. To make a good showing, they do have regeneration, recuperation. One thing I've talked is really like to get some enchanted pikes, really help with their length. Again, especially against giants here. The short swords are going to get repelled quite a bit. Let's just jump down here to see. Alright, I would assume they're getting repelled. I wish I could. That was a big hit. Yeah, but he's down. And then the Fear Aura kicked in, and Utgard routed. Wow. So routed here right at the end. But Lemuria, again, I would have fully believed that they would have lost this, seeing it, but this was apparently a victory. I'm shocked also, seeing this battle report, losing 45. Let's see how many retreated. 5 made it back. So, the biggest loss, we lost the Centurion, 1 console, but again, they are immortal. They'll come back in 3 months. And half of our ghosts. Again, looking at all of this stuff, taking out 2 or 3 of their priests, I just am shocked by this. I want to study this battle more to see why it seems so one-sided and they came back. I have to believe this is just these consoles that put in the effort, but this battle is going to take further research. I'm going to, I think nope, we have not seen that. I think, oh yeah, it was this one. So it's going to skip the Indy. This was victory in the water. PD did up, and they attacked. Utgard attacked here. Not sure what was going on. They have just a random serpent attacking the 1 PD. Maybe they're just trying to help my averages, right? I think we're 4 losses to 1 victory. But this acolyte is no pushover and just wants to charge. It did not think you needed to look at that. It did not want to even summon. Just wanted to. I'm not going to make a bad joke about snakes. So let's move on. Very odd. And then lastly, here is our siege in. So one thing I did not know for the longest time until a friend told me is that if you are ethereal, you can walk through walls. Which makes sense, but you always guess with the minions. But here is a case where you do want to attack career and you want to spread out. We've been spreading out to dodge banishments, etc. But here, even more, you can just walk through and you won't get bottlenecked. And you'll see that in action as they all go just straight over the wall. So it's wonderful in sieging, but able to easily take on their forces. They did not have much in here, so quickly was able to get a palisade, and we lost a few ghosts for that. Alright, so new palisade, wonderful. And let's see what these events are. So sarcophagus open, that usually I think is a mummy. Yep. So divine mummy takes out RPD and just sieging on to that. Fun. Another prophet is preaching. This is the 3rd time this has happened. So decent income, decent pop. I'm fine with that, but I'm just surprised to see it for the 3rd time. Air gems and then earth gems. Wonderful. So we already mentioned this Divine Mummy, and which we're being sieged down, and then the palisade is built here. So let's finish this turn and end the episode. So on the left, we're pulling over are we pulling over troops, or are we just, we're gathering troops. So we still have a nap, wanting to keep this protected. We're finally starting to dive in to see. We see Agartha hitting Atlantis now, and they've pushed off Atlantis. So now I'm worried that Agartha is huge. Seems to still be sieging Marion, and if I'm going to be pushing as Utgard with this massive army here, how much territory do they have? So I'm definitely sending more scouts over and to see what's going on, because I haven't heard anything from Atlantis to see how their war is going. So pulling over troops and keeping that palisade forted up, building a temple, and with that palisade coming up, keeping that open. We have taken back over this province where there was a false prophet. Definitely not trying to get rid of that false prophet yet, as this still is a very high income and want to keep that income coming in. Again, almost 10%. And it looks like, I believe, yep, pulling those crossbows over and putting them on Hodur. What else are we doing? Pulling troops over. We've talked to, I said pikes, well, shouldn't that be I wonder if this was a misforge. Yeah, I really want the enchanted pike, not the enchanted spear. 7 magic, 2 attack, length 3, defense 2 versus attack 3, length 5. This is the one, so I bet this was a mistake, and this should have been a spear, or a pike. Man, I just confused them again. So, oh well, but it will still be better than their short swords. I'm sorry, where's the console? Here we go. Their short swords. Yeah, but we don't have Kai construction. Our research is chugging along at a whopping 72 on turn 21, so we're pushing through that. What else are we doing? So we're moving where we can, building labs. We have a couple labs around our capital of Lemuria, but bring those in, and then we have more of these pre-spawn that we're trying to move troops around. Our pretender's still going around searching. If you want to look at where we're at, we've site searched it a few times. Still, outside of one, we haven't really found anything. We did find this silver mine though, which was very nice. But most of what we're doing this turn is bringing troops over, and this is the turn that we made the decision we're going to attack Utgard. So turn 21, we're going to be hitting their cap. We just hit this province, so we're going to take this army. Even though they have this one, I really want to get this cap down. So pulling everything in, and we're pulling troops along our line to be able to respond depending on what they do here. I imagine they're going to attack the palisade, and if so, we have our Wraith Lord, our president, coming in, and we have more troops getting pulled over to hopefully respond. Here we're building a temple immediately as we continue to move up. So that will wrap it up. Turn 22 we will do next episode as we hit Utgard and keep expanding. Alright, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.